Today is the 8th of July and we'll take a look at what's going on. So we'll start in a different place this time. There's our apple tree. Lots and lots of apples are up there. Although every day there's more and more of them on the ground. So some of that is squirrels knocking them down. And some of them just fall off with the wind. It's been a lot of wind. Over here we have the last of the lettuces, but getting ready to pick them up. Those are some beans I had to start because the beans I had planted ended up being garden beans, and these are pole varieties. You can see the little runner right there that's going to start lashing out looking for something to grab onto. So we'll get them put in today. Zucchini, not doing fantastic. It's in a little box. There's one growing back there. I picked one yesterday. But yeah, that's just leftovers anyway. So we have potatoes and tomatoes. All these bags are potatoes, and the ones with the cages are tomatoes. Some of the potatoes are about ready. This one's starting to fall over and change colors, so this should be about ready. You might get a couple of pounds of spuds out of them. You can graft a tomato onto a potato and grow both at the same time. That might be a fun experiment for another time. But they're looking okay. We're getting a couple of tomatoes starting to come in. I don't expect these to get terribly big because they are growing in bags. So there, what you going to do? It's a volunteer tomato. Decided I want to grow under my grill. Hops starting to pick up the pace again. It cooled down a bit and now they're starting to grow again. They don't like it when the soil gets very hot. So raspberries, lots and lots of raspberries. We've been picking these for the last 2 weeks, probably pulling about a pound of raspberries every other day. So very nice. They were just picked yesterday, and already the ones that were left behind are just about ready. I like them when they get a bit darker than that, a nice dark purple color. Kind of like that one. So this is what's funny is this is the overflow black or red raspberries from that grew out of the space where when I just ran out of space along the side of the house. Grapes. This is a grape castle, a temporary structure times 3 years. So they're doing fine. Sometimes there's rabbits that live in underneath there, but I don't think there's any right now. And there runs all over the place. More grapes along the back. These are just lovely and sweet when they're ready. Can't remember the variety, of course. These are acorn squash, which are just starting to plump up. We're starting to get flowers, I should say, but they haven't started running across the lawn yet. Might get a few, might not. A couple of extra tomatoes back in the cages back there. Bloody squirrels, I don't know why, but they just love digging around the roots of the tomatoes and just drives me bonkers. So dumb animals. So lots of squash, lots of grapes. Probably get about 20 gallons or at least of grapes again this year. Today's activity is pulling garlic. So these are a hard neck variety. These are all the soft necks. I would have let them go another week, but the wind came along but last week and knocked everything over, and it started to make the stems go moldy, and I don't want that to spread down into the bulb, so I just pulled them. And they're decent size on them, so you know I wouldn't complain about that. So that's today's activity. Well, this morning's activity. Spring onions, kohlrabi. I've been pulling all the kohlrabi out as well. Alright, let's take a look at the beds. So back here, this is the enormous giant zucchini monster. Been picking one big zucchini every day. There's 2 plants there, and so we already picked the ones for today, but those will be ready to pick probably tomorrow. It's starting to crowd out the spring onions, which I expected, so I've been picking them, making soups. Parsnips are completely crowded out, and then These are the bulbing onions, and they're starting to puff up. Probably be ready in the middle of August or so. Strawberries are long gone. Alright, so back here, this is leeks. So I'm going to start some more leeks shortly so that they'll have more that'll go into the winter. In the back is where all the kohlrabi have been living. So I just picked the big ones earlier today and brought them inside. Picked them when they're about the size of a little smaller than a softball. I'd say about 10 centimeters across. Let's see up here, red cabbages. I think I took care of the caterpillar problems. So now they're starting to form heads down in there. And that's doing okay. We have poblano peppers in the back here, and those are being quite prodigious. So I've picked the big ones already, and five poblano peppers is probably more than I need. The poles on the back is where the pole beans are supposed to have been growing, and as it turns out, the varieties were most likely bush beans, which don't climb up poles. So that's why I'm calling that a loss, and we'll set the other ones here in this spot. So along the back, that's the cucumbers. So this is the slicer variety, so ones that you put in your sandwiches. So those have to be trained to run up a string, and then you'll get better production out of them. So this space here is where I've been pulling out the garlic. I still have more to go, because for some reason I thought I needed like 70 bulbs of garlic. Yeah, but so when this is out, row of beans will go on the back, and then the space along the front will be filled with the peas that I have started inside. I'm never going to try to start peas outside again, because that's just feeding mice. So what's the point? Along the back here is all the cherry tomatoes, so they're running up the strings nicely. I was able to train those, so now they're good 6 feet tall, so that's good. This is sweet banana peppers. Already did a pick this morning, so plenty of those, nice and sweet, and more cabbage up at the front. I think I might maybe have some caterpillars still going on in here, so I should take care of him if that's the case. Yeah, a bit more oh, there's one right there. You know, can't tell. No, who knows? Well, I'll have to go through and sort through it. Let's see, up here, this is more cherry type tomatoes of various varieties. This one over here is a black strawberry, which we'll find out as soon as these things grow. Honestly, I put them in the ground and I forgot which is which, but at least they'll grow and then you'll know. And bell peppers, just did a pick this morning. Got a couple so far, nothing amazing. This looks like where a squirrel has been piling sunflower seeds, and now they've all just been growing in that spot. So they have to come out. So, because all that's going to do is encourage mice to come in here. Thanks, squirrels, you dumb animals. Lord above. What a nuisance. This is all the hot peppers. Various varieties. They're starting to produce in here. There's a couple of cayenne peppers in there. You can see them nice and spiky. So they'll turn red over time, and then that's all ready. But they take a long time. You don't get an awful lot off of a bush, but a little goes a long way. And then there's jalapenos. Jalapenoing away in the back. They're starting to get crowded out by like everything else is in this bed, because I, as usual, overpacked the beds. So got sunflowers shooting up here, and then behind is where the pickling cucumbers are. Now the pickling cucumbers, you can see they've already figured it out. They're going to start grabbing onto the sunflowers, and they'll snake up around the sunflower as it grows. So that'll be fine. But they're finding their way up the cage and starting to produce little baby cumbers down in there. So we'll start getting some pickles here in about another 2 weeks or so. More pickling cucumbers on this side. So it's getting kind of hard to walk through, and they have to be trained frequently to go up instead of across, and so they just have to come up and just give them a twist around, and that should get it going up again. But I'll have to get in here later and sort that out. That's this is one of the transplants, a mystery transplant. It looks like, based on the shape of the leaves, that's a melon, so maybe we'll get a melon out of this. I don't know. Alright, this is we had some strong winds earlier this week, and I have to get in here and tie things back, but these are all the Roma tomatoes, which all fell over, and I have to stand them up and tape them up and get that back under control. Peas are producing nicely, lots and lots of nice little peas. So even though out of the 100 pea seeds I planted, only 9 were allowed to grow by the mice, but out of those they're quite a bit of production, so fairly tasty, nice and hard, very nice indeed. More storm damage. These are San Marzanos, and so these all have to be stood back up and tied off. Sunflowers are in there. Got a nice little head forming on that one. That's very nice looking. So I was able to successfully transplant one of these out. This is riddled with caterpillar damage, so I don't think, yeah, there he is right there, that little bugger. So I'll probably just pull that out because that's too far gone. That'll never form a head. Oh well, at least not like I don't have any more of them. More sunflowers up the middle of those. It'll give support for the tomatoes as well. And these are starting to really bush up. Not a lot of flowers yet though. And then lastly, this is melons, and they're growing up the cage and doing okay. So that is about it. Zoom in on a big old zucchini. All right, bye.